It was a bright, calm morning when I received a letter from the Homeowners Association, HOA, claiming that I had illegally blocked the private road leading to my lake ranch. They demanded that I remove the barrier I had set up at the end of my property or face legal action. To them, it seemed like an act of defiance. But for me, it was a simple act of asserting my rights over the land I owned and cherished. The road in question was barely used, and certainly not by anyone except a few nosy neighbors who had a habit of snooping around. The HOA had always been a thorn in my side, constantly trying to regulate every little thing about my property, from the color of my fence to the types of plants I could have in my garden. They had their say on everything. But this time, I had finally had enough. I knew I wasn't breaking any rules, so I took the matter to court. The HOA's argument was flimsy at best. They claimed that blocking the road infringed upon the easement rights of other property owners, but I wasn't convinced. The road was not an established public way, nor was it necessary for anyone's access, as there was another entrance to the ranch. The day in court came, and I stood in front of the judge, armed with my documents and knowledge of property law. The HOA representatives tried to argue their case, presenting maps and documents that they said proved the road was for the public. But when I showed the judge the historical records and property boundaries, it was clear that the road had always been part of my private land. The judge, a no-nonsense woman, looked at the evidence, then glanced at the lawyers from the HOA. She chuckled. "You're telling me that this landowner has been living here for years without ever obstructing anyone's way, and now you want me to believe that a harmless barrier is somehow a violation of property rights?" She shook her head and dismissed the case with a clear and confident ruling in my favor. Walking out of the courtroom, I couldn't help but smile. The HOA had underestimated me, and in the end, I was victorious. They learned that day that you can't bully someone who knows their rights.